form is going to win this with white. He will try to put as much practical pressure as possible. Denis also has no time.
Agreed. Agree with everything you said. You have to go to G3. There's no other way out. Okay, E1 is possible. I can take it back, and Hans goes for it. I was wrong. But is it as good as King G3?
You have to use the time it will take Black to win a pawn here to try to create practical problems, like Rook C7 maybe. Yep. But, yeah, so now he's going to... Exactly, and now maybe Rook C7 or G6 or I don't know.
I'm throwing out Bishop F6, Rook G7 as an idea. I agree with you. The point is, White needs to take advantage not of the pawn, but of the time Black has to waste to go get it. So is that Bishop F6 and Rook G7? Rook C7 kicks the pony first. And then what?
Oh, brutal move. And Knight D5 is coming. Rook C5. Rook C5, Rook E3. Yep. You're going to lose a piece. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, wow. Don't blunder. Don't blunder. And by the way, Bishop F6, I keep highlighting it. It just doesn't work because if Rook takes H4, Rook G7 check, the king can go to F8, and the Rook now guards the pawn. So that's why Hans. I'm just solving it for myself. So there's... Okay, he plays Rook C4. Oh, he just blundered the piece! Did he?
That's what I said.
Trap!
That's what I said. That's what I said. I said you got to be so careful here. The Rook can go the other way too. And okay, it's a draw, but wow.
That is what you said. My hands smacked my own face harder than I intended to. Not that anyone's worried, but that was like you called it. By the way, Levy, you have a problem, man. I mean, I've been accused of a commentator's curse from time to time. We're not going to go down that road. Joshua Chamberlain lives, but you have a gift for incepting bad moves in people's minds. What do you say for yourself?
Listen, in the case of Mr. Niemann, you can't blame me, right? But for the average beginner, I definitely can mind read players up until around 1500. But that's why they call me the internet's chess teacher. Nobody actually calls me that, but I'm trying to get it on my passport. So.
I call you that. Every documentary. All right, here we go. We're back to the other way. We've had knight versus bishop dynamics all day if you're just tuning in. Really, we have. We've had positions like this with a single minor piece battle going on. Most of the time, Hans Niemann has been on the side of the knight. Although he's going to regret that chance he just maybe had with the bishop because it didn't get him his first win of the day. And yes, that's right. If you're keeping score, Hans Niemann has yet to get a victory in this match. He's drawn a few games and lost a few.
That's actually insane statistic. I don't know when's the last time. How fast did it take Magnus to beat Hans and Hikaru? Like, this is definitely the longest match he's played without a win.
Yeah. I don't remember when he got his first win versus Magnus in Paris. I know that he almost won game one. I remember commentating with Robert, and there was something like cosmic in that moment, Levy. I know that sounds weird, but like Robert and I were on the edge of our seat. It looked like Hans was going to beat Magnus with black to start the match. And what that might have done, given all the dynamics, all the pressure, all the hype of that being the first battle they had since, of course, the scandal in 22. But then Magnus wins the game, and it was like the wheels came off for Hans, right? Like it was never looking back. So I don't know that I don't know when Hans Niemann last had a match like this.
This is really astounding, and honestly, it says less about Hans, I would argue. It says more about Lazavik. Like, Denis is in incredible form. It's really tough to say where Denis would have gone in the previous Speed Chess Championship because, again, he lost to Wesley So 12-10. That's 1 or 2 games. And Wesley So, as we saw, is a game away or 2 games away at any given moment from knocking out Hikaru literally over the last half a decade. So, Denis's potential is very, very high. And this is tough for Hans, man. This is really tough.
Well, this game, too, is like, it's not going to... Okay, we never know. Blunders happen. But I don't think it's going to go his way. And so now you're already in a spot where, okay, down 3 games, do you just want to get another game? I can't complete my thought before they answer the question. I was going to say, are you already in a spot where you stop trying to fight, Levy, because you're looking at that clock, 39 minutes left in the 3-minute portion. If you're Hans... You don't have time to screw around in those games, Levy. You don't have time to waste 5 minutes on the clock trying to win a stupid night in game, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. You have to go for something a little bit more. By the way, we haven't had this position yet, right? You got to go something.
Yeah, this is new.
Go for something a little bit more rooted in like reality, not just like some performative advantage or something like that. Like you really need a long-term type of grinding game. And he's had a few positions that kind of looked good, but he couldn't really get any play going. And Denis, it's not Denis's match to play for a win anymore. He has to be beaten 3 times. And Tinny, he's not looking like he's going to get beaten if Magnus and Hans were sitting there together making moves.
Okay. This is a road more commonly traveled, to your point. We had a mainline Rui Lopez. I think you're right. I think that was the first one of the day. Because we had a Berlin, if you just tuned in. Game 1 was a Berlin, and then we've had a bunch of Rosalino Sicilians. So, with Hans being white, we have a mainline Lopez. I like his chances. Just what do? You take E5 or do you go 94? Ooh, 94. I had just channeled my inner Yasser Saruwan, 94. Yeah, exactly. Here we go. We're going to take F6 and then Queen H6. That's what I'm talking about.
And he's like, yes, I love it. Yeah, bishop takes
exactly.
Knight F6,
Exactly,
Queen H6.
yes.
Yeah. This is my interzonal game from 1984. Yes.
I love it. Okay, well, Hans Niemann, go for it. Come on, Hans, get the dub. Knight takes F6, Queen takes H6.
King H8 is epic. I had a feeling King H8 was going to happen. E4! Oh my gosh, E4 shuts the door on the... Wait, Danny, this is also prep? What is this?
This is absolutely crazy. Hans Niemann has 2 minutes and 46 seconds to Levy's point about casually saying it's prep. Because if it is, this is mind-blowing. I would be shocked if this was finding the tactics, because he did pause some. But it doesn't matter. Look at the game. What is going on here? Both pieces are hanging.
Both bishops are just like out and like what?
I love G5, by the way, not because I'm going to take the bishop, Levy, but because I'm going to take the knight with the queen. G5 is a fantastic move. Okay, and Hans sees that, so he backs up the pony.
Knight E4. Do you take on F3? You go King H1. You have crazy ideas here, like Queen C1. Oh my god! I mean, if Denis Lazavik plays Queen D3, I'm out of here, bro. Like that's just what? I get it.
Oh, okay. He does it. I'm with you. That would have been quite the move. He plays F5. Now Hans has a chance. Your Queen C1. Hans sits up in his chair. He's got a few tells when Hans feels like there's a moment, and that a little bit of a sit-up. I think he senses that there's got to be some pressure here. Hans really wants to find it.
Queen C1's a fork. It's a fork of a square and a pawn. It's a very, very rare fork for everybody at home, but you're forking a square. That's rare stuff. And then you fork into a fork. It's forkception. Oh my gosh.
I'm like laughing. I can't draw the arrogant laughing. It's forkception. Queen C1 is a fork of H6 and C3. You step into a fork of H8 and B4. It's a forking fiesta. It's a forking fiesta.
Wow, look at that. What is that, a trap? That's not a trapezoid. That's a rhombus? Or no, that's a parallelogram. And he finds it. Let's go. Close match. I'm not rooting for Hans, but I'm not looking for a blowout. Let's go. I want a close match.
Hey, I'm rooting for Hans here. Gloves are off. Let's go. I want to see a win. I want to see this thing stay close, and I'd like to see some momentum turn around. Not rooting for anybody in the bigger picture, but I want a close match as much as anybody does.
Danny, Queen E7 is the knockout Rook D6? Is that what we're going for?
Hey, Rook to D6. Welcome to the party. So. H6.
I don't think so. Queen G7 check, unfortunately. but
okay.
It looks like the right move. Wait, maybe it is. Maybe there's some Rook G1 at the end. I don't know. But okay, now Rook D6, still Queen G7.
No, I think
where's the win?
I think you might be right. Rook D6, Queen G7 check, King moves. You take on E4, and you. Yeah, you're right. Though, how do we just get this Rook to flip over the Queen and get to G1? That's the question.
Then there's Queen D2 threatening Rook D7 and Rook G1 and Queen B4. What is happening?
What? Analysis board. To the Batcave we must go. Here we go. Rook to D6. Queen to G7 check. I think Levy's right. Takes, shake and bake, takes E4. And is Levy right? He is right. Queen to D2.
I would have never seen that in my own games. It's so much easier to analyze games.
Dude, that's a brilliant idea, though. Literally another fork. It is the forking fiesta continues. B4, D7, H6, G1. Hans is oh, he finds it. He finds rook D6. He's on the prowl.
What a game. It's like the best game I've seen like in months. FE Queen D2, that's nasty.
Okay, he finds it. And what's next? Denis knows this is scary, right? He knows he doesn't even want that knight, but he's got to go for it. Why not Queen D2? Why not Queen D2?
Yeah, wow.
What?
I mean, just
he's
totally...
allowing Rook G8, but dude, you can't stop mate on G2 if you play Rook G8. That's the idea.
Yeah, I guess there's Queen E4 and you have to play like F4 or something. Oh, he just totally missed it. Wow.
Okay, he missed it. Okay, I guess we have the... This is one of those spots where maybe we're just not realizing... Whoa. What is it?
Oh my gosh, Hans is not going to win. He has to find Bishop E6, Danny. It's the only move. He might even be losing if he doesn't find that move.
What is going on? It's slipping. You have to find Bishop E6. You don't have a lot of time. 20 seconds. I think he will find it, because I think at this point, the only move will sort of force itself. I think he's going to find Bishop E6.
Knight G3 move! Oh my gosh, he sucks the Queen of Danny!
Oh my gosh! By the way, there was another win there, not 95. What the fork? I agree with chat is happening here. Holy fork balls.
This is... Denis Lazavik is a cat with 36 lives.
Seriously. We will be backing up to see what was the win after knight to d3, because Denis didn't put the game away. He's just happy to hold, let's be honest. But I'm, like, just shocked.
I have no idea where the wins were. I mean, I saw Queen D2. That I saw. Afterward, it's a blur. But yeah, and Hans might flag. They both might flag. They have 3 seconds.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, we're not out of the woods yet. Here we go. Bishop to e5. No. Okay, obstacle bishops. I think they pre-moved themselves to some more time. So
King E2.
I'm expecting a... Okay. Oh, time.
Oh my gosh. Hans Niemann is actually at risk of flagging. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Oh, and so is Denis. You got to move. Okay.
Isn't Hans like potentially risking losing if the Black King gets into the position? This is
yeah. What is going on? What's going on here?
Okay, it's just a draw, but
this is but it was unnecessary. It's a draw, but only Black can win now. Like, this is completely turned around.
Yeah, he's gonna just worst case scenario is Rook and Bishop versus Rook. And we are getting Rook and Bishop. Wow. Now, can Hans defend this perfectly? Does he know the best defensive setup in time trouble?
I mean, if I had to guess, Hans definitely knows the best defensive setup. The question is, can he do it in time trouble, right? So, yeah, exactly. And just so everyone knows, this is a difficult endgame to defend, especially in time scrambles. It is not like Rook and Knight versus Rook. As you see, the Black King, look at this. The Black King and Rook are making... In fact, White is already one step away from losing this position. This is not where you want to be, Levy.
Actually, very famous blitz player and very strong grandmaster Alexander Bortnik recently taught me the cleanest way to defend this. This is second rank defense. This is the best setup. The king and rook a square apart, and
Yep. Okay, I think he will hold it there. The second rank defense. Just remember that name if you are an aspiring chess improver out there. Look it up afterwards, because it seems easy here, but it's the kind of thing you really want to memorize, because it's not as easy to do when you're under 5 seconds. It takes grandmaster level defensive technique, and Hans is doing that. He's showing that.
Yes, there's a famous stalemate trap, but you can very easily lapse for a second and just lose. But it looks like Hans has this perfected.
The nice thing about online chess is you don't need an arbiter. Sheboygan Bishop B2 was winning!
He hung a fork. He hung a fork. Of all the things to hang, he hung a freaking fork.
Oh my god. This is such a heart attack. Hans is almost losing again, dude. This is a... Okay.
Draw.
Hans defends. Okay, he slaps his hands. Yeah. Yeah, you got to celebrate that. Come on. Oh, my gosh. Levy, what is going on right now?
I don't know. Maybe on the break we take a look at what just happened in that game. If Hans Niemann had won that game in that emphatic of a fashion, everything would have flipped, but he still can't get a win. If you can't win a position like that because you're just not feeling the killer instinct of the day, there's nothing you can do. Like on days where, in the last week, I've lost, I don't know, some 100 to 150 blitz rating points. Nothing works. There's just nothing you can do. You play until you get out of it. But Danny, if he can't win that position, I'm not sure there's a position he's going to win today.
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, class is permanent, form is temporary, as they say. Sometimes you show up and you don't have your best chess. You don't want that to be the storyline if you're Hans Niemann or a Hans Niemann fan. But right now, that seems to be the case because Hans has had a couple of victories that Denis Lazavik has denied him or he has let slip away. And now, by the way, Levy, he's lucky he didn't lose that game, by the way. Like, he's lucky he didn't lose that game. He should have lost, and he should be down 4 games right now. That was a one-move Sheboygan, Wisconsin, blunder fork on B2. And yeah, Dennis missed it.
Crazy. And Lazavik is oozing confidence at this point. I mean, like, he is...
Yep.
Danny, the moves that he found in that game to sack the queen twice, get out of here. I mean, like, what do you... How do you beat a guy who's leaving his queen hanging 2 times and counterattacking you? Like, it means he's so locked in.
You can see the confidence. I agree. He's locked in, and here he goes, Queen H5. I don't know if that's the right plan. I think the
I was going to ask you. You know how you used to say, "Oh, I know that's Hikaru face like number 13 or 17 or 11, right?" Yeah. Denis Lazavik has 1 face.
Yeah. Like, it's called winning.
Yeah. I mean, Denis Lazavik, win, lose, draw. Tournament champ, World Cup champ, world champ. That's his face. That's what we got.
Totally true. And I still have a well-documented catalog of Hikaru Nakamura facial expressions. I just don't get to do commentary as much anymore as the good old days. But no, you're right. Denis Lazavik, not an emotive player. Hikaru, I think, on the extreme end of being emotive when he plays. I think Hans Niemann is more on that side as well. But Denis doesn't even blink, man. He just calculates.
No, he's really evolving for sure. I mean, the ability to play such a tactical position but have such a solid playing style. I don't know what you got to beat the guy with a baseball bat. Like, there's going to be no other way to beat him, and I don't know. I have no idea what I tell. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah, especially because Denis is also one of those players where if you're not on good form and beating him, outplaying him, he doesn't vary. He's just going to stick to the playbook. Like, his style is just what it is, right? He's going to play the same stuff, same openings. And so what I'm saying is, like, if you're not on top form, you can't rattle his cage. And so this is by the way, we're basically being baseball commentators right now, speaking of a baseball bat, because we're looking at a game that, by the way, this is the opposite of the Cubs wants, because prediction, 3 minutes will come off the clock before this game is done, at least. If not 4 or 5. So we're seeing that 25-minute clock countdown. If you're new to the SCC, you're not just playing against your opponent. You're playing against the countdown timer and the scoreboard. And so this is not the kind of chess that Hans wants to be playing.
And I don't know what he can possibly do here. Because at some point you start feeling the pressure of, do I try to play for a win? There's only so much that playing the best move will get you, because you're down 3 points. So at some point you have to go for a win. If he thinks his best chance to go for a win is with white, because the previous game, then with black he's just going to have to play. Guess what, though? Denis Lazavik also is just going to make moves. Time is going to keep going off the clock. But this is looking very pleasant now for Hans, I have to say. Yeah, I mean, I would have never played that move. But his idea is to stop b5 ideas, I think.
Yeah, he's guarding the b7 pawn so that you can be b5 with take once and then probably c5. where you take with the c pawn and play a5. Yeah, okay, that's better. Dennis trying to get. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No. I don't have anything profound to say. I've said everything there is now. It's just a question of how much longer can Dennis do nothing in the position before Hans starts throwing haymakers. And if he does something really crazy, he will lose a game and be down 4. And that you generally don't cover from.
Yep. There have been 2. I'm gonna the SCC production family in the background is gonna check my stats here, but I used to do every SCC match commentary for years, and I'm pretty sure there have been 2 4-game deficits overcome to tie, but still lose. I think one 4-game deficit that was ever overcome for a win for anyone wondering. We're gonna ask stat team to check on that, but I think so.
Pretty sure like a couple of years ago, Magnus was down 4 games to Hikaru and then came back. And I don't know if that was the match that he ended up losing, or if he won that match. But that was pretty wild to watch.
I'm pretty sure he lost that match anyway. There was also a women's Speed Chess Championship match. Remember that Irina Krush was in that 4-game deficit, where the person who came back also still lost. But I'm pretty sure there was one 4-game deficit where someone won. All right, here we go. Endgame time. Both sides under 20 seconds. Levy.
Well, first of all, we have rook b7 hangs a rook. Let's not do anything too rash. Bishop f5 is an amazing move, hitting the pawn on d3, forcing white to push the pawn forward. Now the light squared bishop is terrible.
Okay, Hans is pushing. This is good. The a pawn will run, and the a2 square is guarded.
This is miserable for white. No. I mean, this is like objectively completely lost for white. Like, there's nothing. The pawn is going to get all the way to a2, or the king is going to come in d65.
You're lucky you've gotten the setup that you have here, but even this is not going to be good enough. That black rook will switch to the c file, and this game is over. Hans doesn't need to be asked twice.
But Hans had to bring his king. He hung a pawn.
Yeah, but the rook is. I think black. Oh, white has to find rook a. When it finds it.
Yeah.
Oh, the right move order. Oh
wow.
My God, Denis Lazavik.
Yeah, he's sacrificing a bishop because he's gonna do the same thing that happened last game. He's gonna try to trade all the pawns. Rook b.
But Hans
he's in time, Danny. Rook d3, rook d7. Rook d3, rook d7.
Or bishop d7 first.
Oh, and rook g3. Oh my gosh.
Wait, but the king is stalemated. There's a renegade rook. Crap.
He hung his bishop.
No, he had to. Oh, wait, Dennis. Victory. There it is. Well, finally, he says. You can find it. There you go. Oh, wow. Hans is excited, boys and girls, about that victory. Can we show that before the break? What's the sponsor read? I don't even know it. That was absolutely crazy. I know I don't want to overwhelm the chat with chess, but first of all, this is now a draw. Dennis took this pawn, everybody, because he thought king would take, which is stalemate, but it's just an absolute blunder because the rook. Now I have to go back to the renegade rook idea because we saw it coming. The moment this king was stalemated, Lazavik spotted it, and the thing to know that you can hang your rook and it's a draw. I just wanted to show that. But wasn't there something else in this game we wanted to show? I don't even freaking know anymore, man. This match is wild.
I realize. Yeah, let's go forward a move. I realize there's a so the king moves right, and then you have to go rook d6 because if you play rook d7 right away, there's g6 check first.
Yep. Check and then you do the rook.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I thought he just hung his bishop. Like I thought. Yeah, he moved king f7 and just like.
Yeah.
Oh, but that was on purpose. Wow.
Yeah, it was on purpose. So she has to draw, and now.
I know, but Danny, why did he? Oh, he was trying to go rook e7, king h7, rook e5, g6 mate. That's what he was trying to do. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Well, I think part of the reason Lazavik hallucinated, one, it was a hallucination, but two, I think he was a little bit worried, and obviously he only had 2 seconds, we can now see. So maybe he was just panicked, right? He both blundered and just didn't realize that there isn't a threat. Because even if the king moves here, the pawn is pinned. You can just keep the rook here, I think. Yeah. And so So I think he just hallucinated that he wasn't losing. You know what people need to do when they hallucinate? They need to pick up their energy and focus, Levy. That's why we have neurogum, and that's what the players need. That's probably what Denis Lazavik is doing right now. He's back at the studio. He's throwing some water on his face. He's using that code Chess15. He's popping like 5 pieces of gum. I don't recommend that. Do not overdo the amount of gum that you eat. I'm going to pop a neurogum right now, Levy. Have we sent you a neurogum gift package? I don't know.
You received it, but I did have one recently for the first time. It was nice.
Yeah, it's got theanine, it's got GABA. It's good. It's healthy stuff. Anyway, we got to take a break because we got a match ahead of us. Will that game come back to haunt Denis Lazavik? His 3-game lead goes to 2. We're going to find out. We've got a few more 3-minute games, and then the bullet. Go on, brush your shoulder off. Take a break. I got to use. You know what? I'm not going to say it on air. It's inappropriate. We'll be right back. Bye, everybody.
Pep talk? Nah, you're past that. Hype fades, but good energy, that stays. Workout, workday, whatever. We're here for it all damn day. It's never just one thing. Be ready for everything. Mind sharp, focus locked. Don't just move forward. We've got good energy. Neurogum and Mints.
Starting battle.
Welcome back to Chess. Chess is modernizing, infusing the timeless game with an innovative spell mechanic. Players can compete against each other, participate in tournaments, and craft their own spells to battle and climb the ranks. All classical chess rules apply, but can be overridden by spell mechanics.
Invisible march. Strategic.
The knight on h6 used Shot in the Dark, moving it invisibly for 1 turn. And meanwhile, White used House Recruit to spawn a
Clear
pawn.
the ground with a single bound.
White uses Bishop 2.0, launching the bishop over a pawn to capture.
Invisible march. Strategic arch.
Shot in the Dark allows Black to win by Kingsley. Push your chess limits. Try spell chess in the Chess Open Alpha.
Who is your favorite person in the tournament as a friend?
Fabiano Caruana, because he's a very friendly person.
I think I have good contact with Fabio. Oh, Prague. I also get along very well with Prague. Fabio Praganda, probably, yeah. Well, Fabiano Caruana.
Probably Kukas, Domarazzo.
Maybe Kasparov. Maybe for fun, yeah. Magnus, because we are in Team Liquid now.
What is your favorite city in the world?
The Hague, where I live, Minnesota.
Krakow.
Probably Paris.
I like generally, Switzerland, Geneva, Dubai or Doha is also very, very, very suitable for me.
Yeah, I'd say Chennai.
Are you more a night owl or an early bird?
I'm definitely a night owl.
Early bird, no. It's early bird. Late. It depends on my routine because sometimes I night owl and sometimes I'm early bird.
Recently I became night owl because, I played in many classical tournaments and I have to prepare. My advice is just to be a morning person.
I wake up around 9. 8:30, maybe 9. Sometimes 10.
I usually at 10 a.m.
Actually, I wake up early around 8, 9. But whenever I study chess, it's always late.
10 maybe, the 9:30.
in today's Speed Chess Championship match. It's the last quarterfinal matchup in the 2025 SCC. Whoever wins today joins Magnus Carlsen, Hikaru Nakamura, and Ali Reza Farouja in London. If it's Hans Niemann, Levy, we got the same 4 dudes we had in Paris. If it's Denis Lazavik, then a newcomer crashes the party. Either way, it's going to be a blast. And here we go.
We have yet another Sicilian defense, and this time Denis Lazavik, after the troubles of the last game, although that game wasn't even a Sicilian, it was E4, E5, he changes it up. So he decides to test out a new opening. And yeah, Denis Lazavik is the only person preventing a repeat of last year's Final Four. Danny, we just watched them play 12 games, and it was unfathomable to us that Denis Lazavik would lose a game, and he lost a game in the most absurd way possible. Like, it wasn't outplayed. he lost the game by miracle. So can he bounce back emotionally?
Yeah. And it is funny because those types of losses, to Levy's point, are the kind that Denis all day, he has seemed unrattleable, if you will. But it's not first win right before the break. It was how he got the win and how Denis kind of brilliantly held and then blew it. So we'll find out. Right now, it's already looking pretty good for Hans. This bishop f3, he's going to take c6 at some point, and that's a problem. He's just going to take that knight. He does it. I like it.
This is a Lazavik-style game, as if he was playing white, but he is not. So Denis is going to have to try to... Uh-oh. Is there bishop c3? Uh-oh. Hans is losing.
Wait. Oh, he just blundered his own exchange? Oh, wow.
Yeah. Bishop c3, bishop d2. So I have no clue what you play here with white.
Yeah, just real quick in your head, everybody. Ooh, bishop to c3. If you try to... The rook comes to d8, and that's a pin on the queen. So yeah, Hans sits up in a chair, not the good kind. Yeah, we'll show it real quick. Here we go. Rook to b1 or whatever.
I think you go for this and sack the queen. I think you go for this and take on c3. You must. Yeah.
Wow, that would be quite the journey. Is it happening?
Yeah.
It's happening. It's happening, everybody.
There it is.
Here we go.
There it is.
Levy called for a queen sack, and he gets what he wants.
Oh, yeah. We got a queen sacrifice from Hans Niemann, although not a fun one. This is much more of a defensive sacrifice than an offensive sacrifice.
Yeah.
But I have to say the position still looks pretty nice for white.
Yeah, he's got some pressure. The dark squared bishop is one that cannot be rivaled by anything black has. The d6 square is weak. And the 3-on-2 majority for Hans is much better than the 4-on-3 majority that Denis has over here. So there's pressure. That's the point. Hans does have some compensation. Oh, I like that move. Yeah, trap the rook, and now here comes f6 at some point. That rook just got loose.
I don't understand the move rook d6 at all. I mean, it was quite obvious he was going to play bishop d5. So I think Hans is relying on the move c2 to c4. If that move can land, white's position is great. But now Denis is going to trade a pair of rooks, and white's resistance against the queen gets significantly weaker. Because when you play against the queen, you need pieces that can coordinate really well together. And with just one rook on the board, it's just not going to happen. It would actually be even worse for white if white had a knight instead of one of the bishops. But yeah, this is looking very bad.
Black can just defend the a7 pawn. I mean, there's several ways to do it. Queen c7, queen e7, queen b8. But all of them will likely be followed by e5 at some point. And black is sort of slowly pushing. Oh, wait, what? Oh, tactics. He's saying if you take, I'm going to play queen a8 and win the a3 pawn. So he's defending tactically, the old-fashioned way. I realize I have gum in my mouth. Shout out to Neurogum. Sorry, I'm going to take that out. Sorry, everybody. There you go. Neurogum out of my mouth, but we'll save that for later.
Why is he shaking his head? I don't understand why Denis is so upset, but I'm not the one playing, so... Oh, now bishop a7, queen a8, rook d7. Oops. Or that.
Okay.
But there's queen a6. I'm not sure.
Black has to move the bishop first, so are you going to c2 or are you going to f5? But now you're allowing bishop takes a7, and Hans still not going for it.
Hans is doing this. Hans is doing this because he wants the bishop to block the black king's escape. So he wants his rook to infiltrate, and he doesn't want the black king to run out. That's what I think. And so g4 was too much, I think. But that's the idea. Yeah.
Okay, but it also is a pawn move, as you said. It's too much. It's a pawn move you often wish you could have back when you advance them in front of your king. So he gets his goal, but now Lazavik has a target, which is the white king. He's going to try to open it up.
20 seconds on the clock. Weak king against the queen. Really dangerous. h3, queen c7. h3, queen c7. You have to find bishop f2, which is very tough.
Okay, he plays it right away, but we're still taking on g4, likely trying to open it up.
Yep. Yeah. And the e-pawn for black is decisive, I think, in the long run. But
okay. But all right, if you get what's going on here? If you play b5, I mean, is Hans getting some counterplay? No.
I mean, b5 is the only thing white can do other than sit back, and I think it's just a matter of time. Like queen b3, queen f3 is just mate.
Yeah. Oh wow, queen b3, queen f3 is just mate. You weren't kidding. I mean, you say things exaggerating because you're an entertainer. I'm not calling you. You're entertaining, but you're not wrong. Queen b3 and queen f3 is just a problem.
Is the idea for white like bishop b6? You just like make a run for it and like get the king some air? Oh, bishop b6, queen g3. Oh my god. Oh, this is just over.
Yeah, and he finds it. I think Hans is. Oh wait, queen f3. Oh, he's going to give up the rook for the bishop. That's his only hope. Queen f3. He's going to give up the rook for the bishop.
What? Wow. And then there's b5, and then. Oh, that's a nice idea, Danny, because he's trying to get a pass pawn.
Yep. He's saying, when you take my bishop, I will take with a pawn. But at least Hans isn't mated anymore. Only 4 seconds. The biggest problem he has is not on the board right now. It's on the clock.
Yeah, f4, there was rook e4. Like, this is still tricky somehow.
Yeah, now he's gonna play tickle. Back and forth.
Queen b2 is nice. Oh,
okay, but hold the phone.
Dangerous.
There's tactics. There's discovered tactics on e8, and the queen is hanging on b6.
If Lazavik should move his king.
What? He finds rook e1? The pawn is defended?
Wow, he's going for a fortress. The pawn is protected.
Yeah. This is not simple at all anymore. Again, the biggest problem is the clock. Will he continue to play the best move with only a second of increment? Apparently not.
He hung queen d5, queen d5, and queen d3. Queen d5, queen d3. Oh my god.
Queen d5, queen d3. Dennis doesn't see it. He's not moving it. He doesn't see it. Oh, he does see it. Oh, he doesn't see it. He misses queen d3. Wait.
No, queen d3, king f4. This is the best line. And it's mate. b7, king f5 was mate.
Oh my god. Denis Lazavik rights the ship with a huge victory. Levy's line, for the record, was even better. Those keeping track, you didn't have to take the pawn. You could.
I see what you're saying. Sorry. Yes.
We can show it really quickly, because it was amazing. I just got to pull it up. Yeah, it was right here. Just to show real quick, you could have just played even just king f5, and you get a queen. Doesn't matter. And you're checkmated where you stand. So, but either way, Lazavik coming back is the story of that game, and he rights the ship, maintaining a 3-game lead.
Incredible, yeah. And Hans was yelling. I mean, Hans has won 1 game in this match, and it was Denis Lazavik sacrificing a rook for a pawn he thought was a stalemate. Like, it's actually mind blowing how well Denis is playing. Like I said, at a certain point, it's less about Hans. Denis is playing unbelievably clutch. b5 now from Hans, and yeah, this game is going to take another 5 to 6 minutes off the clock, and then Hans is going to have 1 game, and he's not winning this segment. It's all going to come down to bullet, but I don't know what you do. I think in the bullet, Danny, my advice would be to play like b3 every game. I mean, you just play really weird stuff and try to outplay the opponent.
But that usually, we've learned in lots of years of Speed Chess Championship commentary, that either works right away or it's often the fastest path to being down by 10 games, right? I mean, like at a certain point, the moment you go away from that stuff and you're inviting, the only Hikaru does that stuff for realsies, right? Everyone else, it is either a sign of a comeback or an epic collapse.
And Hikaru has been weak in bullet this year of all the formats. I mean, he's done his heavy hitting in the 5-1 and and the 3-1. So, no, you're right. You're right. But listen, losing a match by 1 and losing it by 10 is the same thing, really.
Yep.
Minus a little bit of prize money. So you got to go for it.
Yep. OMG. Denis Lazavik wins that game, pushes the lead back to 3. To Levy's point, the only Hans Niemann victory so far has been a stalemate blunder by Lazavik, and this is... Wait, you are staring down the barrel of a 4-game deficit. He's just losing.
Yeah.
Dude, bishop takes c6 is just happening.
Or GF knight d4 and black resigns. This is crazy. This is a mix of Hans tilting and just Denis being. I mean, he's Drago today. He might not look like it, but this is Drago versus Rocky and not
and not
it
the
ain't looking
sequel,
good.
the first one. The first one where Drago. Wait, do I know my Rocky movies? I don't even know.
Don't spoil in case anybody hasn't seen it yet, But brutal.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
just look at the bishop on h7. It's the worst bishop of all time.
Yeah, that's not a good piece. Like scientifically, that's the term you label that piece. That's not a good piece. On
I think
h7.
White's position is so good. Danny, can you play knight a5 and g4, or would you lose? I was just thinking, is White's position so strong you can just play without a piece here? But whatever, we don't have to put it on the board.
No, but you're right. Look, the rook is trapped where it stands. Can't go to a8 without a check discovery. Oh my god, he's going to d5. He's got more problems coming. Knight d5 and the rook on c3 is trapped. Hans needs to resign and get another 3-minute game. This is brutal, and he's facing down the deficits that as we've said, we've only seen a comeback of 4 games for victory one time in history. We have seen 4 games tie and then lose. And again, I'm saying stats based on my memory because I'm old and I've done a lot of this, but I actually will confirm that. But I'm pretty sure that Hans Niemann is now facing historical territory.
In the SCC, yes, I think I was down 4 games in a match and I won, but that was Idiot League. that was the idiot.
In the IMSCC?
I think I was. Yeah, I mean,
no.
I was definitely down 3. I don't know about 4, but they can find the
I don't know that
stat.
you were down 4. Okay, but you're right. But yeah.
Oh, 3
So
definitely.
It was the 2019 WSCC, as I called, and the Hikaru Magnus match. So anyway, all right, here we go. We've seen crazy finishes. We've seen someone down 2 games with literally 2 minutes to go or something, something ridiculous, and win to send it to overtime. But this is really tough stuff. Although, okay, great start for Hans. Look at this position. Knight on d2 is headed to c4. The d6 square is calling his name. Yeah.
Okay, knight f5 is sort of an absent, but I would go g4 h3. No, I would have went g4 h3. Was that the best move, g4 h3? I feel like it looked very nice for White after that.
I can back up if you want me to ask the artificially intelligent overlords, but we'll just go with the flow and let it be. All right, h4 is played. You have kind of a King's Indian attack coming if you're Hans, but you can't play g4 next because h4, and if you play h5 first.
But in the King's Indian, the center is closed, and now it's not, right? And we always tell people don't really attack if the center's open. The problem is I have no idea what White will do if he's not going to attack here. His bishop on b2 is terrible.
Mm-hmm. And here comes b4, by the way, which is going to open up the d4 square for business. Black is preparing to bring the heat to the dark squares in the center. I actually just suddenly love Lazavik's position. You can't play g4. h4 falls. Your plan of h5 is just too slow. White's playing b4. Black's playing b4.
Did Hans just play rook d1, rook c1?
Which tells you something's wrong. When that kind of thing is happening, it's just a sign of maybe not the best calculation on the day. By the way, I think Black can just go for the d3 pawn. I think Denis missed that on the last move, but he might still have it. Now g4 though is happening. So Hans is getting a little bit of life in terms of the timing and the tempi of this.
They do always say, and they say this in particular in the World Cup of chess, which is in the semifinals now, that to get a winning position, sometimes you have to go through hell. And this is a great example. You have to take huge risk with White. You have to be in a worse position. And the other guy has to seize the moment. And this might be perfect for Hans, right? But This game could very well decide the match. Okay, you cannot come back from 5 down and bullet. 3 is much more manageable, but he has to win.
Yeah.
I mean, what more can you say?
Okay.
Oh.
He's getting an attack. He's got H6. Bringing the heat. Yeah, because if G6 is... Okay, but if G6 is played, now F6 is really scary. Oh, Bishop A3. That's why the computer was saying you had to play A3. Hans missed it. Bishop A3 was such a strong move there. And again, they're both missing it. Bishop... Somebody has to occupy the A3 square, and whoever does might win the game.
Danny, on the previous move, could Black play A3 and C4 and RIP to White ever getting the bishop out?
Yes. Yeah, that was the best line. It was A3 with tempo and close it up.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
okay, but still, Hans can play Bishop A3 here, and White is in a great spot. And the point, everybody, is it's not just about the C5 pawn. If this dark square bishop is traded, you're getting mated on the dark squares here. Bad things are happening. Neither side is appreciating just how subtle this is, which again is easy for us to say. We have the eval bar, we have a couple of yapping heads.
But the bishop has been put on a much better square now.
Yeah.
And as you said, Queen F3, Knight F6 is always there. Yeah, the dark squared bishop is the reason Lazavik hasn't lost yet. Tough position.
Yeah, super tough.
They have the same amount of time. It doesn't feel... It doesn't feel like it's a 4-point match. Like, they are so close in some of these games. Mm-hmm. And Lazavik has just been more clutch. Now, he's gonna... Will he defend this position? Queen A8? Queen D5? What's the move?
You got to get the queen to safety. We have discovered checks on the board, winning the queen on B7. So... Okay, or king f8, that's another way to do it. Get the king to safety so that there's no check. Now the black queen is actually kind of pinning the knight, so you sort of reverse the fortunes there. But white is...
Can you go
Okay.
I wanted to go D5.
You just want to blow it open. You're so aggressive sometimes, Levy. You know?
Yeah, I feel inspired watching them play. I would not come up with these moves on my own. I mean, I don't know if D5 was any good, but I kind of like that you were breaking the position open. But yeah, no, I mean,
okay,
this is
okay. He
stable.
finds the best move though. This is a great move though by Hans. Bishop D5. What? Knight takes E5.
No,
you allow
no
bishop takes C7 and queen F6 check? What the?
Absolutely. He's never playing knight E5. If he plays knight E5, I'm gonna eat my hoodie. Yeah,
okay.
No chance. No chance.
That, by the way, knight takes E5 was the best engine move, but you have to allow not just bishop E7, but queen F6 check, and then you just calmly put the king on E8, and black is fine. There's just
Hans
no
is
world.
winning.
That is not a world that we... Wait,
H7 hangs...
Knight takes E6 or H7.
Yeah, but everything was losing.
Just take H7. Yeah. Take H7.
No, I mean, everything was hanging, though. Everything. Wow, D6 is nasty.
I know, but knight H7 was so concrete because it was with check, and then you go to F6, and the H pawn runs. You're a wizard, Harry.
This 94?
I mean, yeah, it's winning, but...
No, but D7. D7, rook C1. It must be over. What? Okay, fine.
Okay, D7 now. D7 now. Okay. The back rank is just... The back rank mate. That was too many ranks coming out of my mouth. But the back rank mate should win for what? Yeah, it's just over, yeah. Okay, yeah, Dennis can't hold this. Rook C8.
Rook B8. There was Rook B8. Fine. Or Rook C8, yeah.
Okay, Rook C8 still. All right. Okay,
wait. Danny. This didn't work. But can I show you something cool?
You got the microphone, so let's go back to the game.
I just want to show something.
What was the position?
Rook A8, Rook A8.
Okay.
Rook A, takes, Rook C8, Knight D8, Rook A8, stalemate.
Oh, yeah. Same idea that saved Dennis before as a stalemate. That's a draw.
Can you imagine?
Yeah. By the way, white wins on anything like Knight H7, everybody. You just give the king a move and then you win, but Levy's idea is brilliant. Okay.
It's a nice little trap,
back to the game.
That was Hans Niemann's best game.
Yeah, for sure. Hans Niemann wins. We have less than 2 minutes left in the 3-minute portion, everybody. Can he bring it back to within 2 games? I think this is a doable comeback in bullet for Hans if it's within 2. 4? Okay, if he loses this game, Bob's your uncle. But if he wins, he has a real chance, and even 3 games is possible. So we're still in it. In a close match.
Oh, for sure. That was a fantastic game. That was definitely Lazavik's worst game of the match so far. Yep. And the moment where at the end he had the blue arrow and I said I would eat my hoodie, I mean, he had to sacrifice a knight and allow a kingside attack, but somehow have enough tactics to save the position. I mean, it was unfathomable. This line that he's playing, knight c3, Lazavik, this is some sort of new cutting-edge stuff in the ready, which most people watching aren't playing because ready is something that, top grandmasters are now playing to avoid opening theory, but you put a knight on c3. So if you back up like 3 moves, we don't have to go too far.
Yep.
But it looks like an extremely anti-positional move for Denis. Like, what is knight c3? But it's a new thing. This is what they're doing now.
Okay. New move order stuff. Denis Lazavik is all over it, and he has a teeny bit of an edge here, although the knight just undevelops itself because it wants the c4 square at some point. Interesting.
You rook back to e1.
Very interesting.
I like White's bishops.
Yeah. It's funny, both bishops are sort of awkward on b2 and h7. Both kind of out of play, but both potentially back in the game if they could wiggle their way into something important. So it's just an interesting dynamic there.
Okay, rook e8, final game. So much hinges on this game. If it's a 2-game winning streak for Hans that goes into the bullet, anything can happen. Really anything. I mean, it's hard to understate how important this game is and how much pressure there is on Hans.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. It has happened before. We have seen 4-game comebacks, but you're in historical territory. You're going into the record books if it happens. So you want to win now. This is officially our last 3-minute game. As you can see, the timer above Hans Niemann's head has hit 0. White has a bit of an edge here. This is a great game for Denis Lazavik. That's one thing that has also been very consistently smart about him, Levy, is that his rebound games have been very good. He rebounded when he blundered the stalemate, won right away, and even if he doesn't win this game, like if he holds the draw, this is just a very smart way to play a solid game right after something went crazy.
Denny, he's also threatening bishop c1, and the threat is not just bishop f4, it's bishop takes h6. Like, it almost looks like positionally, White is just completely winning. Like, I mean, I don't see a move for Black. I guess he's trying to, and there it is, and Hans has to lock in, man.
Okay, computer says the only move is knight d5. No hands, that's the computer, which, by the way, stops both threats. It guards f4 and stops Levy's bishop takes h6, and Hans Niemann finds it, the best move.
And that's why he went rook e7, because on the previous move, his rook was on e8, and rook e8 would have won the game. So this is why he played the rook to e7. Very good defending from Hans.
Yeah. Hans is finding all the best moves to keep himself in it, and the time advantage is very, very small for Denis. So this is likely a scramble, still anybody's game. Okay, now is bishop takes h6? Wait, no? It's not. Oh, the knight defends it. Sorry. I was just testing you. You passed the test. You barely passed that test right there. I was asking you for you.
I was just chilling. Now I actually don't know how to make progress, by the way. Like, I straight up have no idea. Hans did great. And bishop g5 is a nice idea for Hans, too. Bishop g5, and you can put a knight on f4 in some lines. I like it. Not right away.
I like it. King h7 is also a fun move. By the way, h4 is a move that the computer has been calling for with bishop takes, and then you slide the queen over. That's kind of crazy, so I'm not even looking at it. We're back to just eval bar analysis, but that was a wild move that White could have played.
Wow. Queen g3 voluntarily damaging his own pawn structure because it removes the most active defender of Black's position. This is just amazing stuff from Lazavik. Very instructive for anybody. fg3 is not a move we see a lot, right, Danny? Like, you don't see this kind of structure.
It's not. And by the way, now h4 is a lot more obvious, and he finds it because g5 will be trapping the bishop where it sits on f6. Denis Lazavik has got Hans Niemann's back against the wall literally here. You cannot go to bullet down 4 games.
No, Hans is yelling. He's missed it. It's actually over. He is completely lost. H5 traps a bishop, and G5 traps a bishop. Unbelievable. Dennis tapping his chin like, do you know where the resign button is?
God.
And he's found it.
Oh, wait, he just resigns. I don't think he realized the 3-minute portion was over. I mean,
No, but I mean, it was just lost. He was just losing a bishop. It's over. Denis Lazavik is up 4 games.
right, but he could have moved the rook from d8 and kept going for a little longer. No?
No, but h5 was trapping the other bishop.
Sorry, that's double threat. It was a double threat. Double threat.
Yeah.
Double kill,
Crazy.
double threat. Literally, Denis Lazavik is doubling up right now. He's got 4 games as a lead heading in to Bullet. Levy, did you think we could possibly be here?
No, I mean, definitely not. If anything, I expected Hans to be the favorite, but I also would have expected it to be close. Hans hasn't played his best, but Dennis has played out of his mind. That's really the summary here.
Yeah.
I don't think you should tune out just yet, but I think in 15 minutes, if it's a 6-point match, yeah, maybe it's time.
Well, again, and the first game of the Bullet portion tells a lot. So if Hans Niemann wins that first game, anything can happen. Tilt is real, momentum can get out of control. But right now, Denis Lazavik is 4 games up. Speaking of 4 games up, why don't you get yourself a chess up board? Legit, I love this thing. I use it with my 9-year-old daughter, my youngest, and I love playing on the chess up board. It's a disco party on a chessboard. You press the pieces, they light up squares, they tell you the legal moves, but not just for people learning the game. It also can tell you the best move. It's got mini game review features in it. I'm not even reading the script here because I actually just endorse this thing personally. I love it. I use it at home. You can get 10%. Was I supposed to say anything else? I don't know. I'm not going to read the script because I don't care. Right now, we're headed to Bullet. You should get a chess up board. They are amazing gifts for the holidays. Not going to josh around on that, but I am going to jockey over and take a quick break and get some water before I stutter any further because the Bullet portion is ahead. It's the last quarterfinal matchup of the 2025 SCC, and Levy and I will be right back.
Has this ever happened to you?
Oh, shoot. Another mouse slip.
What about this?
Oh, well, holy bishops en passant. I think I'm getting carpal tunnel. If only there was a way to play online chess with a real-life board.
What if I told you you can with Chess Up 2? That's right. With Chess Up 2, you can now play over the board online. Wow. Simply connect your chess.com account to our state-of-the-art Chess Up 2 and get a game started. Every time you move, our revolutionary board will transmit the data online directly to your opponent. And as soon as they move, squares will light up, signifying which piece is going where.
Well, shucks. This Hikaru guy seems pretty good.
With Chess Up 2, mouse slips and sore wrists are a thing of the past.
My carpal tunnel is gone. Well, this sure is fun. I'm playing online against my new friend Hikaru. Who needs a family? But I sure do miss clicking on a piece and seeing all of my available moves, like they have on chess.com.
Well, Danny, you're in luck. This feature is totally available on the Chess Up 2 as well.
Wow. Well, I'm convinced. But hey, what if I don't just want to play an opponent online? What if I want to use one of chess.com's other great tools?
I thought you'd never ask. With Chess Up 2, you can fully take advantage of the chess.com integration by playing bots, analyzing your offline games, and even using our optional AI assistants to visualize the quality of moves with color-coded hints.
Well, holy Chess Up, you did it. You made IRL chess cool again.
You got it, Danny.
And how do you know my name?
Play chess today on the board of tomorrow.
Everybody has days where they just don't feel up for it. You look in the mirror and you're not your full self. Neurogum, energy and focus. I know a guy who uses the gum to help get ready for his day. And it tastes good. That's the energy and focus this guy needs to go bring smiles to the faces of chess pieces everywhere. There he is. That's my guy. Always forward, never back. Neurogum, helping little pawns feel big since 2015.
I'll go for a safe bet, like a favorite chess piece. I think that's pretty easy.
Sounds good.
I think I already got it wrong. Let me take a look.
And a second, how does this guy look like?
No, this is... this I can try.
Okay.
I'm going to be artistic on this one. I think I'm going to skip this.
Yeah, do one more. We have time. You can do one more.
This does not look like what it's supposed to look like.
The start was really good. I was thinking this is the best by far today, but then you kind of derailed at some point.
That was really, really bad.
Okay, there you go. Amazing.
The rook here.
That's a rook.
Yeah, brilliant
Good job.
animation. Yeah, I thought you will think it's a knight or something, but
Oh my god, drawing is hard.
Are you drawing the map now or the chess piece?
The knight.
Ah, the knights. Okay, perfect.
That's the worst knight. And I say this is knight. You have to believe it.
Okay, this looks good. Should have been a door somewhere. Should have been a door, but now no door from this. Or maybe we can make a door here, yeah? So all of a sudden, impressive. Not really. And probably we should add some cat. But I'm not so sure my cat will be too nice. So I just live here.
I think we should keep this.
Yeah, we can keep it in the.
Like out of the frame. It's so bad.
I started to be successful and winning games and matches in the apartment. So building up from there my self-confidence and beating adults outside of the apartment. It was a very nice way of strengthening my journey. And I started to become very good at a very young age. Age 9, I was winning the unrated section of the New York Open, which was a big thing, a huge thing, because I scored only one draw at the very end when I secured my first place. And after that also, it was very clear that I was improving not only in strength, but also in rating in the next couple of years from age 9 to 12, that people were not really able to follow where am I standing really. So even experts, they just knew that I'm just racketing and playing very well, and nobody understood how far I will go.
Can you recommend us a series or a movie that you love?
Yeah, Peaky Blinders series.
I like Mission Impossible.
One of my favorite movies, probably Inception. Probably everybody has already watched it, but if you haven't, you definitely have to.
everyone should see Lord of the Rings at least once.
I had quite a fun watching Better Call Saul.
Yeah, I guess RRR for people, I think a lot of people are enjoying it.
Welcome back, everybody. International Masters, Danny Rench and Levy Rosman. We have the call for the quarterfinal matchup in the 2025 SCC. Who will join Magnus, Hikaru, and Ali Reza in London? Will it be an epic comeback from Hans Niemann? Right now, it's got to start now, Levy. Or will Denis Lazavik hold on after what has been a great day for him? All I know is we're headed to Bullet, baby. The stakes are real, not just an SCC, better chances to qualify for the Esports World Cup. All types of stuff are about to happen right now.
Denis Lazavik has played the match of his life. He's clearly in amazing form and on the rise. Hans, meanwhile, has not. He's had a couple of bright moments. He's had several unlucky breaks. But all the storyline comes down to the next 25 minutes. This is the last bullet segment of any quarterfinal. Before today, we were approaching a repeat of the Final Four, which would have been fun for storylines. but Denis Lazavik is here to ruin the party and throw one of his own. And as long as he wins a game or two in the next 10 minutes, Danny, it's a wrap.
Agreed. I think most people expected we would get a repeat of Paris with the same 4 players back. We might still get a repeat of Paris if Hans Niemann can stage a comeback. Here we go. A lot of the same openings here. We're back to a variation we've kind of now seen a couple times in this weird whatever it is. It's like an Alapin kind of deal.
Yeah. 97. We had a similar structure in the last game that Hans won. He goes right back to it. He understands that, the last game felt a little bit like poison for Denis, and so he. And by the way, I love this position. This is really good for White. Perfect for Bullet. H4, H5, Knight B5, Knight C4. Just have at it. Nothing matters.
You got to do it. And by the way, if anyone was wondering why Denis Lazavik was favored according to Chess.com's stat machine heading into the match, look at the ratings. Denis Lazavik is an absolute beast in Bullet. Again, Hans doesn't play as much Bullet, though, to be fair, and none of these guys are really playing 1+1. So I think it's important to remember the SCC is a different animal, but Lazavik clearly one of the best Bullet players on the planet with that rating. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
what do we got here?
But having said all that, I felt like Hans's experience was still significant, and he won a tournament this year and everything. Like, it's not to be understated. He is also playing very well. But yeah, Denis is playing amazing.
Well, look at this. Look at the clock. Denis is up a lot of time. That is the term. He's up a lot of time, and now he's got to deal with Bishop C7 though. So how do you do that? I guess Knight D5 just attacks the bishop and guards. That's probably good enough. E5 I guess also does the trick. But okay. There's a threat. G5 and King G6 traps the bishop. Don't blunder it. Apparently it's not that good of a threat. False alarm, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, but Danny, this is a worse nightmare. Hans has 4 seconds on the clock, and he has nothing here. Absolutely nothing. Denis is about to take a 5-game lead, and effectively the match ends. Hans has to win every game from this point forward.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, if Denis wins here 5 games, I mean, again, it is not over, but we are getting into that territory where you can start. Because what happens, everybody, is it's not even just the total game deficit. It's the actual just time you have left to stage a comeback. 22 minutes right now, but when you start getting into 5 games, your opponent is in a spot where unless they fully collapse, you just don't have enough time left.
Yeah, exactly. So
okay. But he's held this. Denis let the advantage slip. This is basically back to a draw. So hold on. In fact, huge save there right now from Hans Niemann.
Yeah.
Like,
yep.
Talk about a gift, right?
Yep. Okay, now I mean, this game's going to go on for a minute. This is a reverse English. These games go 50, 60 moves. I wouldn't be surprised if after this game there's about 17 minutes left on the clock, like 17, 18. I mean, Hans has to take some crazy risk here. This is one-way traffic. This is B5, and Black has to go for a kingside attack.
But he is still in the territory where he just needs to win. And I'm not saying he doesn't need to risk. I'm saying he just needs to win. Because even if you get down to 17 minutes, as long as the lead goes to 3, you're okay. Maybe the next one even gets down to 12 minutes. If you win, you're okay, right? The point is, Hans has to win these games. He just can't allow the clock to disappear and the score to stay at 4 games apiece. So as much as that was a huge miss by Denis Lazavik not to extend to 5 games, he's still up by 4, and he can milk the clock as much as possible.
Yeah, Queen D7, but White is going to go Rook E1 or Rook D1 and Bishop H1, and you are just not going to get anything here with Black. Nothing at all.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Lazavik putting pressure. Again, missed a chance to push it to 5, but increasing his chances to push it to 5 games again.
Oh, Danny, I think there's a plan here like F3, Queen H2. I have a feeling that might have even been a plan on a previous move, but this is really strong actually also from Lazavik. I mean, Danny, if you swamped all the games of the match, the player, with Magnus, he's playing the way Magnus beats people. Like, systematic across different structures, openings, styles of positions, clutch moments, just incredible. And we got to ask him if he feels like he was playing like in top form today.
Right. I mean, it has been Magnus-esque. I saw a comment earlier in featured chat that was saying either Hans is in bad form or Denis Lazavik is playing like Magnus or Hikaru. I think both can probably be true, but I think Denis Lazavik really should get a ton of credit, regardless of whether Hans had his best chess, because he is beating people. Look, this is just a one-sided chess. Okay, he's like, maybe is he always converting the most accurately? Like, probably not, but he's just dominating right now, and these openings are just so tough to stage a comeback against, especially in Bullet.
I said in the beginning, this type of structure will go 50, 60, 70 moves, and there's going to be 17 minutes on the clock at the end of the game. And if Hans defends himself, we're going to get down to 17 minutes. He's going to bleed 4.5, 5 minutes off the clock, which is crazy, and he's going to win. So it's a conundrum in the Speed Chess Championship. Do you defend as long as possible, or do you just throw the game and try to get more time to play it?
But at this point, you're down by 4. I mean, I don't think throwing the game is even an option. You're just hoping for your opponent to blunder, which it doesn't look like something Denis Lazavik plans to do. By the way, Queen H7 is now coming. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
It's 5 games. Yeah, Hans Niemann has to win every single game from this point forward. I think if he even draws one, it's a wrap.
Well, he throws his hands up right there, a bit of a hat nod. I don't think he was disrespecting anyone. I think Hans was like, I don't know that I can beat this guy today. He was kind of hands up in the air. I don't know that I have it to beat Denis Lazavik when he's just playing chess like this. So he's Denis Lazavik could be on his way to shocking the world, denying everybody the repeat of Paris 24, but putting his hat in the ring as someone who could win the SCC. Magnus, as we said, was a 58% chance according to the Poly Market. Denis Lazavik was a 3% chance. So now he's got to go up against Magnus Carlsen if he wins. Not over yet, but if Denis Lazavik goes against Magnus, I'm sure he'd be happy to be there at that point. And I'm just saying. I don't know.
Yeah, we're not calling it just yet, but I don't think being down 30 seconds and down 5 games is pushing in the right direction. I mean, it's really one of these things. I've been on the receiving end of one match in particular where I felt like I could do nothing. There was nothing I could do to win. That was quarterfinals. I think I once played Eric Rosen, and he just had it that day, and I didn't. And you still have to play. I mean, you just have to play every game, and the other guy is like, look, 32-30 Bullet. Like, it's just crazy. I wonder where these pre-match predictions come in on the stats team. Is it the recent games he's played on chess.com? Like, has he just been in good form online and we've missed it?
We have we do actually put a lot of effort into them because we want them to be accurate. So I, as a commentator, do everything I can to make fun of the stats, and I'm teasing. When I agree with them, I agree. When I don't agree, I'm just honest about it. But the truth is, the stats tend to be pretty accurate. It runs as effective in a model as it can, which is both their current games on chess.com, if they have history in terms of classical chess, rapid and blitz, but there's a lot that goes into it. And, I don't know. At this point, they're inaccurate the other way, Levy. They're not inaccurate because they predicted Denis Lazavik to win. They're inaccurate because they predicted a closer match. And at this point, Lazavik is just doing his thing.
Yeah. And of course, like, when you're down 5, you will not be playing your best. If you haven't played your best for 3 hours, it's not going to happen in the last 15 minutes. I mean, it's just life. You would love to see that type of stuff, but it doesn't happen. And, Danny, like, it's interesting. Usually in a chess match, you can win while you've been outplayed for 4 hours. Not in the Speed Chess Championship. In the Speed Chess Championship, if you've been outplayed the entire match, you're not just going to, like, immediately turn it around. Yeah. Like, in most sporting events, it takes time, right? And yeah, man. I mean, credit to Denis, because he has played great.
Yeah, it's just crazy. And by the way, that piece sack was sort of questionable and dubious according to the computer, but according to Denis Lazavik and Bullet, it was exactly what he needed to do. It brought some practical pressure to Hans's king side. Hans is trying to defend. Will he? Okay, by the way, if Hans wins this game, we start to do the thing of going, okay, where we go from here. You got to win this game if you're Hans. I don't even care what the computer says. You just find a way to swindle that black king.
I think he's making progress.
Okay.
Nah, maybe not.
Come on, Hans. I don't know where the mate is, but I don't know. He's got only 1 second. That's the problem. Dennis has 3, 2, 1.
Dennis gonna lose.
Running out of time.
Dennis gonna lose.
He blunders his rook.
Dennis gonna lose.
What? What is going on? Crazy Three's mate. Oh my god. They missed it twice, Levy. The mate was on the board twice. We got to show that.
Crazy.
I don't even know that we need to show it. The mate was on the board twice, and they both missed it.
Yeah. It's that's the kind of match, you know. Like I said, it's not even about flipping a switch to playing better. It's also about being lucky, and the ball does not bounce in your direction on days like this.
Yep.
Brutal. And just to be very clear, I am not rooting for Hans Niemann overall. I'm rooting for a close match. This Speed Chess Championship has felt more lopsided than any in history. Like, a lot of matchups were not close, and so that's weird. You know, I want it to be close. And obviously, it's exciting to see.
You're not just saying this. You're not just saying this match has been lopsided. You're saying the SEC overall has had a lot of lopsided matchups. Just to clarify,
I definitely felt like it this year more than others. I mean, if you look back historically, you had guys like Nojabek Nepo, 13-11. Grishuk last year had a match that was like a game decided. I don't know. And Danny, we didn't expect a rout. Like, Denis Lazavik's playing out of his mind.
Part of me would say I've been lucky that I called 2 of the closest matches with him on, but you're right. There has been a lot of lopsided victories, but who said that Denis Lazavik, Hans Niemann was going to be a lopsided victory? I mean, if the Chess Mafia were real, they would make sure it wasn't a lopsided victory. And probably, even though I am also not rooting for Hans Niemann, I mean, honestly, I thought the marquee matchup of Hans and Magnus was what we all were kind of thinking was going to happen in London. And so given how the bracket was shaking out and what we thought might go down as Hans being the favorite against Dennis, I thought that was sort of what the script was calling for. So we are gonna have a different set of competitors there. And I'm kind of calling it. I hate to say that word, but unless Dennis, this is 6 games with 12 minutes to go, he could literally run out the time and make it impossible for Hans to come back.
Yeah, on a personal level, I'm a little sad because I don't think my interviews with the players will be as exciting. You know, I kind of doubt I'm going to have an interview like I did last year with Denis Lazavik, you know. But
I'm also being obviously and I'm super excited for Dennis. I believe in this kid. I've seen him and literally been watching him since he was very little. When he qualified his way to the Chess.com Global Championship, a couple of years ago, or actually it was our CCT finals. Like, you know, I think Dennis is highly underrated and will be a very well-known house name before his career is said and done. So make no mistake. But I also was very excited for Hans Niemann to be in London, if for nothing else, for the content of the interview between him and Gotham Chess. That's the truth. So that's not going to happen.
Yes. And although he's winning this game, but there is a tendency in these matches to play the last few games in a horrendous quality, especially if you're winning the match. It's always nice to end on a win, but when the match is already won, you kind of relax. It's just the truth.
Yeah.
We will be seeing.
And again, it's just
probably lose a couple games.
Yes, and right now Hans has a couple queens. Speaking of losing a couple games, this is usually the kind of games you lose. But Dennis, note that he's not resigning for a reason. Every single second he takes off the clock at this point. By the way, that was made on H1, doesn't matter. Hans is going to win. He's trying to pre-move his way to a victory because his only chance is to not just win this game, Levy, but find a way to pre-move his way to victory for the remaining games.
Yeah. Denis Lazavik took a little deep breath. That was the most amount of emotion he's shown in about 3 hours. And he just goes right back on the horse. It's a 5-game lead with 10 minutes to go. And unless Denis Lazavik starts resigning on move 5 every game, we are looking at a pretty massive result for that young man. And his reward is to play Magnus Carlsen in London.
Oh, such is life. Although the way Dennis played today, I'm not counting him out against anybody, especially because, again, you called it. He played Magnus-esque chess, but he also has the type of style that, again, if he's on form and it's going well, he's tough to beat. And Denis Lazavik deserves to be there. He is not going to be an easy out for Magnus Carlsen, again, assuming we do not see the type of tragedy that I don't think we're going to see. I think Denis is doing great here, and again, with the time that is ticking on the clock, we're going to be under 8 minutes probably before this game is done. That's the truth.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't see Denis doing something crazy and losing this one. I'm just trying to see. He also had a good World Rapid in Blitz, Denis. Yeah, he played in the World Rapid. He gained 26 points. He only lost one game. That was he lost 2 games to, 2 people that probably you've heard of, Grishuk and Fabiano Caruana. He beat Prague. He beat Liu Shanglei. Beat a bunch of grandmasters. And then in the World Blitz, he also gained some points, although he did not do as well as he maybe could have. Danny, in however many games he played, he lost 2 games. So, yeah, I mean, Denis Lazavik he's for real, dude. Dude is 3,200. I mean, it's not an accident.
Once it's up the exchange here, I know the computer says it's level, but if he can win this game, I guess I'm just looking at the math. No, I think it's just too much at this point. Wow, if Denis sacks the queen and takes d1, he missed queen c5. Denis saw the. Oh, he missed queen c5. It threatens the queen and mate. Okay, so wow. Well, what's going on here? Talk about funsies.
Yeah, but it's what I said, no? I mean, you relax. Like, the game quality of the last few games is going to be much worse than the previous games. He's just chilled out. I mean, there's 8 minutes, and Hans has to beat him 4 more times. It's impossible. So, it makes sense. If this was an hour ago, he would not have blundered that, I think. He would have sort of...
Yeah.
But, okay, now he's going to give some checks.
Well, some interesting stuff. And you made a comment about Denis Lazavik's World Rapid and Blitz performance. We were going to ask Hans if he got to a post-game interview in our prep why he wasn't playing the World Rapid and Blitz, or at least he's not confirmed yet. He could still play. I don't think it's over yet. Unlike
yes,
this
that's
map,
another.
Which is okay, but stranger things have happened. All right, let's just pretend for a second that Hans Niemann has won 2 games in a row, and he still has time to make a comeback. Although, what in the world just happened here? What is that?
I don't know. I mean, I can pretend all I want. It's, unless Hans starts getting 2 points for a win, which maybe you guys can start doing to make it a little more exciting. In the last 3 minutes, points are worth double. But how's that?
Fascinating idea. That would be the one thing that would really prevent anyone from resigning a match. By the way, we did update the rules. The OG Speed Chess Championship rules, which were evolved from the original Blitz death matches we used to do. So if you're a fan who remembers the original Blitz death matches, you should out yourself now because you're a true OG and we love you. But the original rule was, first of all, do you know that the original was just only bullet? It was no, our producer and OG for sure, it was no Blitz. But okay, we evolved the death match to be Blitz and bullet. And originally you were not allowed to resign. Like, you had to be humiliated no matter what. It was evolved from literally a name called Deathmatch. I don't know what we were into back in the early days at chess.com. But now you are allowed to resign once the clock is under 10 minutes if you wish to do so. So I don't think Hans is going to resign here. But in theory, if he loses this game and decides to, he is now allowed to resign once the total clock is under 10 minutes remaining.
Yeah, and the next thing you have to implement is you're allowed to forfeit all of your prize money, but in the last 5 minutes, points are double.
That is actually fascinating. This is like, I'm not on camera. I just sat up and started rubbing my hands instinctively. I don't even know where that comes from, like an evil Burns meme. I was like, let me.
You're the Simpsons character, yeah.
Yes, a new exciting chess format. I love this idea. I love this idea of how we keep the stakes interesting there all the way to the end. Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, basketball has the same problem. And I know you talk to Daryl Morey a lot, and he's always like, when you're up by 30 and there's 10 minutes left, like, no one's going to watch, right? So you kind of need high stakes all the way. And so you can do first to X points. That's, that ends the match. But then the match is over.
By the way,
instead of,
you just gave Daryl a shout out. He's been texting me on the side. So if he's still there, Daryl, say hi. But Daryl has been watching today. And
Hans can just take the night.
Hans can take E6. Oh, you didn't see it.
No, but I mean, this is the way it's going. By the way, Rook F7 won a queen. Oh no, it did. Yes, it won a queen. Rook F7 was a queen.
Yeah.
And okay.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much it right there. Hans is not throwing in the towel. Gonna throw down again. But now mathematically, I will officially not go back on that. It's just over because at this point he's up enough games that even if he just let his own time run out, Denis Lazavik is dancing his way to London. Mark it down. What will happen in a matchup between one of the most talented, underrated, lesser known, but damn is he good superstars of the future in Denis Lazavik when he goes up against Magnus? I think it might be better than people think. We'll see.
For sure. No, I mean, I think they played in the last World Rapid, if I'm not mistaken. Also, Denis and Magnus played a very tense match in Toronto. I mean, I was there. I can't remember if it's 2022 or 2023, but it was one of those finals. And, I'm sure Magnus has enough experience playing against Denis. An elephant never forgets, Liri li la ri la, little Italian brain rot for you. And, I don't know. This is the part of the commentary where everything just degenerates. I'm sorry.
I was following you for a minute, and then you anyway, but it was good. The Italian. You speak Italian?
No, I do not. It's just it's just popular memes. We don't have to uncover it now. I prefer we don't. We just Danny, we already have dying reputations as commentators, and I think we don't want to bury them further. I think we did a pretty solid job today.
I had a great time either way, and I think the chat did too. Some of them will be honest and admit it. Others will pretend they didn't have a good time, but they did stick around no matter what. And the Speed Chess Championship continues to deliver with amazing games and matchups, and I'm excited for London. I'm surprised, not just by how this ended, because it won't be Hans Niemann, but I'm surprised in how it ended. And Denis Lazavik has made a name for himself today, ladies and gentlemen. And yes, the final score is going to be bigger than it felt, but Levy, the truth is, Denis was just undeniably the better player today.
Yeah. He had like 2 bad moments in 3.5 hours. Folks, if you want to take your chess to the next level, make 2 mistakes in 3 hours and then let's talk. I mean, he really he played great. He played dynamic positions. He was clutch defensively. He did his thing when the position was suited to him. And just shocking. Well, not shocking. I mean, that he's capable of such a thing, but I did think that Hans was a slight favorite. And I was completely wrong. Denis played amazing.
Well, we were both wrong. I also thought Hans was the favorite. And we'll see. And I wonder who Magnus would want to play. We didn't quite get into that in the interview at the end of his.
Come on. Of course, he prefers to play Lazavik.
Okay. I think from a historical perspective, in terms of there being zero love lost between Magnus Carlsen and Hans Niemann as human beings, I'm not pretending that. But I also think from a chess perspective, I wonder how Magnus feels like just comfortable that he could beat Hans again like he did in Paris versus Denis Lazavik being a new animal. You know what I mean?
No, it's tough for Magnus. I mean, I have brought this up in recaps. Like, you can beat Hans 20 times, but the second he beats you in a match, he was extremely close in the World Blitz. Like,
yeah,
it really shakes you, and it shows you how much of a relief it was for Magnus in the World Blitz because he ended up sweeping like the next matches, right? Like and then obviously there was a whole split title thing. But I mean, he prefers to play Lazavik. Lazavik will be tough to beat from the chess.
I'd love for you to ask him. I mean, obviously you will be leading interviews and doing all kinds of content from London. More reason why people should be there. Get your tickets now. But I'd love for you to ask Magnus because I'm sure he was watching at least some point today, even if he wasn't watching commentary. I know he would be following it. at chess.com events directly, and I'm curious what his feelings would be, because if Lazavik played so well, if it was like, damn, this kid's going to be, a little bit of a different opponent than Hans Niemann. So we'll see.
I think the challenge of an improving player is interesting to Magnus. I think chess is only interesting to Magnus in the form of, not memorizing openings, playing different pawn structures and positions and lines and setups, and playing young players who want to beat him. And yeah, Denis Lazavik is that guy. They've played a bunch, but every time they play, he's getting better. It's actually not clear if Magnus is getting better or staying the same level. That's the truth, right? You just don't know. Because is Magnus actually improving at chess? That's the interesting thing. That's a very fascinating concept. And he finds a way to win, but is he getting better every year? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. That's actually, we should probably ask Magnus. I think Magnus has said before that his peak was somewhere in the 2013 to maybe 2016 era. I think I've heard him say that. But so by that he would say he's not getting better because he feels like that was his peak. But is he still, is he still the best player in the world, bar none, when he focuses and buckles down? I think that is the case. But at some point, one of these young players is going to shock the world. It will happen. And will it be London? We'll find out.
Right. And
Hans
right
Niemann,
on cue, I was just going to say we have about 2 or 3 games, as we've talked, just atrocious quality, looking like just the boys are ready to haul it in, and Hans wins the last game of the match. But Danny, it's over. Denis Lazavik with a rout in the last quarterfinal.
Congratulations to that young man, Denis Lazavik. Hans Niemann not sticking around as expected, and no shame in that. A frustrating day, obviously, for the American Grandmaster, but a huge day for Denis Lazavik. Makes a name for himself. And Levy Rosman, obviously we'll have an interview chat. This is your time. Get all your questions in. We will do it. But quick thoughts before we throw to a break and come back with our victorious player.
No. I mean, we've been saying it for the last hour. This was really a breakthrough moment for Denis. He had a typical SCC run. This was his toughest test so far. He passed with just the utmost flying colors, like they are in the sky. And now we'll see. We'll see what the potential is. And the next matchup will be in 3 months' time. He might play Magnus in the World Rapid and Blitz, Danny. But today he should celebrate, however he's going to.
Well, he will be celebrating with us in just a moment. Don't go anywhere, fans. We now know who will join Magnus Carlsen, Hikaru Nakamura, and Ali Reza Firouzja. His name is Denis Lazavik, and he joins us when we return. fourth and final player punches his ticket to the Speed Chess Championship live finals in London. It is Denis Lazavik. Denis, congratulations, and just tell us right now in this moment, how excited are you to go to London, and how does this day feel knowing that you played just in an absolutely incredible match today?
Yeah, thank you. Of course, I'm very happy to win. Surprisingly, he played quite badly, I would say, and of course, I'm very happy that I will be playing London, and I'm a bit tired, so it's hard to say something. But yeah, I'm happy, of course.
Denis, I asked you in Russian, so now I will ask you in English so everybody understands. Did you feel you were in good form today? Because it felt like you won the match quite convincingly, and it was less about Hans playing badly. Did you feel you were playing very good chess today?
Yeah, after first games, I felt this. But also, after first break, the score was evil. So I also thought that he is playing good too. But after the first break, I won like 3 games in a row, and after this, I felt already that I'm a huge favorite and I could win.
Well, I was going to ask that in terms of how did you feel about yourself coming into the match. After you won a few games, you said you felt like the favorite, but the chess.com prediction stats machine also said you were the favorite coming in, even though I will say guilty as charged. I thought Hans was the favorite, and I think Levy did as well. So how did you feel about your chances, and how did you think about how you matched up with Hans in terms of your style? And just give us a little bit of a pre-match mindset that you had coming in.
Yeah, I also thought that he is a favorite. I had pretty much interview for chess.com, and I said that he has like 60%, and I has like 40. Also, Magnus said that he's favorite, and I agree with it. Even after the match, he played much more strong tournaments than I did, and he did very well last year. So even after the match, I think I'm not stronger than he is for sure, but somehow he played not great today, and I prepared some openings. It really helped me, especially the Sicilian. I usually play first e5, but I prepared some first c5, and I had a couple of good games in this knight h6 variation, and also second e6. So that's all what I did before the match.
Denis, you obviously have a lot of success in rapid, blitz, bullet. It's very obvious. Your ratings are 3,200, and now you're in the semifinals. What are you focusing on the most now? Is it speed chess, online chess, classical chess? What's your main focus?
Yeah, now probably online chess, but of course I would like to play like European championships and qualify to World Cup, and to achieve like 2,700. But now I more successful in online chess, and also there are good prizes here, even sometimes more than you can earn in World Cup. So I don't know. I would like to be successful in any part, of chess, in classical also. But now I'm playing more online chess, so I'm happy that at least I'm successful here. So maybe in classical I'm not so good, but somewhere I'm quite good.
Well, I'm curious, and I'm gonna I'm going to throw this as one of our featured chat questions, but I'm going to paraphrase a little bit. The question was, where do you want to be chess-wise in the future? And I'm going to ask, because Levy and I were talking about you and how talented you are, that you're only 19 years old. There's obviously a lot of years left in terms of chess, and you talk about how important online chess is to you. But for you, in terms of over-the-board, classical, and rapid in particular, do you feel like it's lack of opportunities, lack of invites to get chances to play in some of those elite events? Or is it not as much of a priority for you as it may be a different generation playing a lot of online chess? But what are your ambitions in terms of how good you want to get 2,700 and beyond? And how do you look at getting invites and getting opportunities to compete in top events?
Yes, of course, now it's not so many opportunities and invitations. I'm only like 2,600, and also due to war, especially so. But I just feel that I'm playing better in classical chess than 2,600. So I think I can like maybe achieve 2,650 or something quite easily, and then I will need to improve. So I won this year good classical tournaments, and and in terms of rapid and blitz, there are like only one tournament in a year. For me, this World Championship. So of course, if we compare like online blitz and offline blitz, I can play online blitz every day, and I do it mostly, but over the board blitz, it's really hard to practice. I have like also 2,600 ratings, but I'm sure that I'm playing better than this rating.
Another question from the audience. Do you have a ritual before your games or matches? Any routine, something special you do?
I played like a couple of blitz games today and solved some puzzle rush. That's all for chess.